Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to today's Thursday Live. I am Denise Armenio, certified emotion code, body code practitioner, genius biofeedback practitioner. I am here with Claire McIntyre, and we are going to be going over working with the Genius Insight app and working with some libraries that help deal with helping everybody stay grounded and a little bit more in our bodies. And we will use the aura to help assess that a little bit as well. And also, I just wanted to talk briefly about I don't know if you could see it, our PEMF wearable bracelet. I have it charging right here. Let me just unplug it. I won't be able to, I can try putting it on again. I don't know if you can hear me when I use it, but maybe because it's Bluetooth, you can hear me. But I know when I try to plug any other device in the aux channel that you couldn't hear me. Claire couldn't hear me before when we were testing it. So we will try to do that as well. And before we begin, does anyone have any questions that they'd like to have answered? I do know I see David in the here in the chat, and he had a really good question earlier today that he did post in Mighty Networks. And for anybody that is not aware, Claire, can you post that in the chat? But if you go to I Love My Genius, it will bring you to our community where we post events and talk everything genius. But his question he asked is, and David, maybe you want to come off mic for a minute here, is if you can delete shared libraries. The answer is no. Sorry, guys, I have my son coming home, so it may get a noisy for a minute. You cannot delete shared libraries. So my best suggestion would be if there are libraries you don't want to use with specific clients, is to not have, there's like in the back office, don't assign all your libraries to everyone. So that way you can just assign whatever libraries you want to be working with, and then you can exclude the ones that you don't want to share. Depending on how many libraries you have, it's going to be a little bit more tedious. But, you know, I don't know if that works for you, but that's the only way I know of to really get around it. I did try seeing if you can make a master branch and put those libraries that you wanted to remove in a master branch that it would take it out of like the libraries when you searched, but that didn't work. So
no, it won't take the shared libraries. That's what I found. It'll take the ones that you've put in, but it won't take the shared ones.
Well, you see, it's different when you receive libraries that come in as a master branch. You won't see them in libraries. You'll only see them when you go into master branch. So, if you know somebody shared libraries with you in a master branch, you just don't look at the master branch libraries, basically. But if they've come in as individual libraries, they're going to be in that whole list. So that doesn't really help. So anyway, that's the best suggestion I can make for you.
I did send a message to the developer.
Okay, great. So
about that, and also suggested a section called favorites. So you could put your favorite libraries in if you're dealing with abundance every day.
Well, that's what the master branch would be for.
Yeah, but if they're shared, you can't put them in the master branch.
No, you could put shared in the master branch. We can work on, maybe that could be a topic next week where we
Yeah,
can
yeah,
work on setting those up, the master branch, but you can, that's what the function of the master branch is for. I have master branch libraries that have created libraries and shared libraries all in the same one.
Right. That's
So-
where the confusion was arising, is trying to get the shared ones in.
So,
It's not
anyway.
very, it isn't simple.
So anyway, thank you. Okay, so we are going to begin. So everybody can actually go off mic for a minute. I'm going to share my Genius. And let me just, we'll use our Thursday live group. And is everybody off mic? I can't see. Almost everybody. Just anybody who wants to be part of the group session, you unmic so we can do the recording, please. And 3 more left. Lisa, Dominga, and Lisa are the only 2 that need to turn their mic off. So I am going to start. So everybody, I'm going to count you down. 3, 2, 1, begin.
David
A,
Hunter.
Armenio, We're all set. Perfect. So everybody could turn their mics back on. I'm going to quickly grab our group shot here. If I can get everybody in, hold on. Okay. All right, so now we've just taken our voice recording. I am going to play the voice harmonics. And again, I just wanted to say that the intention for this Genius session is that we are working on all the attendees that are here live, and also anybody who is going to be watching this on the replay. So that is my intention for this session. And I'm going to play the voice harmonics. Okay, and now we can hit next. And continue. And let's existing photo. And here's our new photo from today. And we're just going to click use. And now we can begin analysis on this picture. And what I love about this is even if your live picture isn't there, your name is there. So it's really helps bring it in a little bit. So I love that. Okay. So now the affirmation that I'm going to add, and again, for anybody out there who is watching this or isn't already aware, when we add an affirmation here, the Genius uses its algorithms and it will convert the written text and or affirmation that I'm about to type in into a frequency. And that affirmation I'm going to use is all energies are transmuted into the frequency of pure love. And so it is. Okay, and then we just hit okay. And then that frequency will like overlay all the other frequencies when we run the scans. So now we just go down to the bottom and click on begin analysis. And I'm just going to go to custom libraries quickly and run begin analysis again. Okay, so let's go back now and we can get our aura picture before we get started. And we can just look at the numbers on here. Why don't we just talk about the numbers here for a minute? The Genius uses a numerical value system that ranges from 0 to 777. 0 to 100 is represented by the color blue. And those frequencies or those items that are in this lower range are observed to be chronic energetic disturbances. So they've been out of balance for a longer period of time. In Chinese medicine, would refer to those as stagnant energy, and sometimes we also refer to it as under energy. From there, we go to 101 to 450. That is represented by the color green. Then we have 451 to 688. That's represented by the color yellow. And 689 to 777 is represented by the color red. These are acute energetic disturbances. They're more present. They haven't been out of balance for a long period of time. We may refer to them also as over energy, or in Chinese medicine, often they may refer to these energetic disturbances as heat or inflammation. The yellow and green, it's hard to say that there's not a specific number for normal. There's not one number that you're looking for. If you were going to look for a range where you would be more balanced, I would probably say anything between 400 and 600 is well balanced, and and as you move outside that range, you're getting more and more out of balance. So hope that helps. And the other thing is oftentimes when we see numbers in the yellow and green range, if we do bring them into the main hold tray, because the Genius works with algorithms in that tray and looks at the relationship between the items in that tray, often items that are yellow or green may become red or blue when they're in the presence of those other frequencies. So it's always going to move and change a little bit. Okay, so let's go to our aura picture now. Okay, so what we like to look for or see in our aura is bright, vibrant colors, and usually the 7 colors that represent the chakra colors are what we see, and different and then varying shades of those colors. So here we have red in the center, and as we're going out, it's really starting to get a little bit of murky and dirty coloring in there, and even like a gray or black overlay in there. So we have a little bit of cleaning up to do in there, hopefully just infusing with some solutions, perhaps like some essential oils and herbs can help break that up, along with some of the grounding energies that we're going to work with today. And we can switch to the old version that will give us a little better sense of if we are grounded. And you can see that we are out of our body here. And there's this blue, which is coming down like a programming line. So it is something good that we are working on. I know I work on it all the time. Even though I think that I'm grounded most of the time, sometimes it's just, I don't know what's actually causing it. If it's the energies that are causing us to be, becoming out of balance, out of our body so easily or what, but it is something to pay attention to. So now I will go and look at what today's stress is for the group. And we see some inflammation coming up in red. And in blue, we see adrenal, fungus, infection, bacteria, and immune. So we can just be mindful of that and keep an eye on that. And right now, I want to start with just doing a quick using the vessel priming library just quickly to get us primed here. So let's just run this quickly. So we have a 36% rectification and the harmony, alignment, and energy flow. There's about a 20% range in there. So that's okay. I don't really like seeing it getting bigger than that. And I'm not going to run this again because we are doing the demo here. So I'm just going to back out of this now and clear. And that will allow us to run a quick general overview. So what the general overview is when you click on or put your cursor on the system overview, it brings you to the general overview. And that allows you to look at all the items, all the line items. And the Genius puts it in numerical order. So it's not separated by categories anymore. And I find that this to be a really great way to work with these frequencies because anything can cause anything. So when you're looking for the root cause of something, we may not always think to look in these libraries. So you can see all the reds here. Now I have so many libraries. I must have at least probably 80,000 different line items. So we shouldn't be concerned that we're seeing so many 777s there. It's just that you have to fit, like 80,000 items all within that range of 777 numbers. So you're going to have a lot in there. Anyway, I'm going to go down to the plus on the bottom left of the screen, and that allows me to add the top 50 and the bottom 50 to the main hold tray. So that will give me 100 items. We can look quickly at what's showing up on the bottom. That would be our more chronic items. and minerals from body is showing up. So that also tells me when I remove these libraries, it will still be in that group. So if this number will probably end up being 199 when I'm done working with it, because this is from the main system page. But we can see just some other more woo-woo libraries are showing up in here. An offensive energy is in there, and we're seeing I release all underlying causes that blocks and balances causing my body to feel ill when I have caffeine, testosterone deficiency, leaky gut, cell phone radiation. So a bunch of different things in here. So now let's just remove the library. And now we are showing just the items that are in the system overview. And again, I'm going to do the same thing at the top 50 and bottom 50. Huh, that's funny. I don't think it should have added phosphorus twice. I don't know how that came up, but okay. We'll just trust it. Whatever it did, we probably need. And I'm going to run this. And let's run high. Let's select all and we'll run them for a minute. I'm just looking at the comments here. Linda, you're saying, I think spring has had an effect on us. Do you mean as far as not staying grounded or some other type of effect? And Margaret saying EMF.
Yes, the grounding.
It's very possible. So, well, let's hope that we can get some good results here today. We're going to run. Thank you for that comment, by the way. And Margaret, I'll look to add in rescue remedy into our tray when I get to one more specific library. Thank you. Okay, so 37% rectification, and it's a little bit more than 20%. So I'm just going to follow my rules. Just going to rescan the lows is what I'm feeling. And let's just work with those for 30 seconds. And it's still low. So what do we want to do here? Let's add the highs with the lows, and we're going to give it another 30 seconds. How's everybody feeling? I'm actually starting to feel a little bit warm. Is anybody else feeling these frequencies? You can put it in the chat.
We can't actually, well,
Can you not?
Makes a difference. Can't actually hear them, so
Oh, I'm sorry.
see them.
Um, I'm looking for, you can't hear them at all?
No, I think on one of the earlier ones you could hear the odd tweet and the odd boing, but no, very intermittent. There you go.
That's a good rectification. I want to see, I don't know why. Sorry, guys, I just want. And I muted myself, sorry. I don't know why it's not bringing me to the main. It must be that audio thing. I thought I fixed it. Does anybody know how to get back to it? I'm not having a good go of this, guys. Okay, well, I'm just going to go back. That's a great rectification, so I'm happy with that. We can empty our main hold tray. And now we can go to, I'm going to go to the Bach flower essences and add in the rescue remedy. Great. And look at that, Margaret. Great call. Good work. Clear that. And we could go to our libraries now. So I have specifics that I've selected for today. So I have a grounding library specifically. And we can look at that. This is just affirmations to help us stay more grounded. So I'm going to add in all of them. And then, oh, look at that. Let's add in this. And then I did want to work with our gems, which are help us with stability and grounding. There are a lot here, so I'm just going to add the reds and blues on that library. And I have another one, another library that works with your hyoid bone. And this bone is actually the only bone, it's just suspended. It's not attached to anything else. And interestingly, it is blue and it helps in centering. So this library will help, all the items in here will help us balance that, that bone in there. So it has gaits, like our different gaits when we walk and things like that. Pitch, roll, and yaw. So that's in our vestibular system. So pitch, roll, and yaw is where we are in the universe, basically. Or and where else did I want to go? Frequencies. It's my frequency library. FRDQ. And I'm going to add all of these items from in here. And lastly, I wanted to work with hydration for all of us, especially hydration. We could probably also all use a little work with the lungs, given I don't know where everybody else, how everybody else is doing, but I know here in the Northeast US, I'm in Southern Connecticut, our air quality has been awful. We can't, the visibility is so bad. And I know that that's coming from the Canadian wildfire. So as anybody in Canada, you know, it must be even worse there for you. So I'm saying my prayers for everybody, but we can look at those things as well. Anyway, so let's work with the hydration here. I'm going to add all these items in. And here I'm just going to add our reds and blues. And again, these are just some affirmations that works on making sure that all of our systems are hydrated. And we can use this last one. Okay. And I'm also just going to add in all the spiritual protection items. Okay, so we have 162 items in here. Let's begin and now. And I am having tech issues today, guys. Okay. So grounding keeps me calm. I hydrate my body with filtered infinite love. My muscular system is fully hydrated. Some anti-diuretic hormone balance. So let's work with all of these for 1 minute and we could hit play. Can you hear it now? Okay.
A little bit more. Still very faint and intermittent.
Sorry, guys. I don't know where that Zoom control is.
It's a little bit better. No.
Okay, so we have a 35% rectification. I'm going to run all, deselect the alls. I'm going to select, we scan first. And I'm just going to unshare, and I think I figured it out. You can't get the audio control when you're sharing the screen. And now we can select the highs and the lows. And I'm going to run that for 3 minutes. You hear it now? Yeah.
Better than what it was. It's, yeah.
My volume all the way up.
It's still very patchy, but yeah.
Everybody doing okay?
So did you see the chat, Denise? Couple of comments there.
Oh, well, Linda, can you hear it now or better? That I made the little adjustment? And David, your face is warm and tingly. That's how. Oh, and Margaret, I have some neck pain and it seems to be getting better. Oh, that's great. Thank you. Rosemary, you're Aaron. Oh, that's terrific. Oh, sorry, I missed those. So that is a low rectification. So I am just going to run the lows, just making sure that they're checked. And let's see what happens when we run those just for 30 seconds. Okay, so that's better. We still have a little bit more than 20% there, but I'm happy with that. Let's just go out for a second and see what our aura is looking like right now. Oof. Well, I like the green in the middle, but as for everything else, I'm not really liking that much. And that's not looking so great. So I am going to add this whole brain anatomy to the main hold tray and also add the neurotransmitters and some essential oils. I'm just going to add the red ones and let's run. And we'll run these for a minute. I think something is clearing because yawning for me is a sign when things are clearing.
Yeah, I just had a yawn.
Sorry, guys. It's pretty deep because I can feel that I didn't get a big enough yawn yet to actually really clear it. Our percent rectification, it is still kind of low. Let's yeah. If anybody has water, please just take a sip of your water. Sometimes I find that when we're dehydrated, it doesn't clear as easily. And I'm just going to select the highs and the lows and run this for 30 seconds. Okay, so that's a bit better. So we can go back now and let's just see. I also just wanted to check lungs. Is it in here? Respiratory. Well, let's just add respiratory and where are organs? So lungs don't really look that bad in here. And I was going to aura. So that's looking a little bit better, and that in all out in time and space is a little bit dark, but it is looking better in here. And we were a little bit all in our body, and I don't know, it could be not coming out a little bit in there. So just trying to think what we might need in here. The body did show up as the priority area to work on, so it may be something in here that we need more of. So let's look at our herbs. And let's add in these radio waves, fluorescent lights. How's everybody doing? You okay? Okay, so that's 27%. Wow, Margaret, it says her neck pain went from a 9 to about a 2. That's amazing. I'm so happy for you, Margaret. That's really great. And we didn't even work with any pain-specific libraries. So you see, you don't really know anything can cause anything. So that's really awesome. I do want to look, I was just thinking that I should find grounding itself in here and look at the functional zones for that. I think I had grounding as a single. If somebody sees the word grounding, I know that was, oh, here it is. So let's do the functional zone consideration. Margaret. Really sweet. Okay, so let's work with the tissue regulation zone first. And I'm first going to add that into the main hold tray, and then we can cystic process stress evaluation is at 98% and degeneration level stress 1 is at 96%. Now, I just wanted to show you guys something. I don't know if you've ever like really played with this, but if you once you go into that, like, let's say the tissue regulation zone, like I just did, and I added those two specific ones, if I click on it again, it will be asked will pop up. If you ever want to go like a little deeper. So now we have the stress evaluation and pre-degeneration. So let's just add those.
Sorry,
And then
what did you say when you said when you click on it a second time? Because
it
interrupted.
regenerates other possible different zones. I don't actually know what all those zones are. I wish we could get a list of that. I would just be curious to see which is in each group. I don't have that information though. So we can add the geophysical zone. So the geopathic charge stress evaluation is 99% and radioactivity stress evaluation is 97%. So what I was saying, Claire, is it's showing 99 and 97%. I'm not sure if it's just showing you the top two high ones and then like maybe you'll get the next two. We can experiment with it again and just see.
Yeah, I have a feeling Connie's got that information somewhere of what's behind each one.
So so now the two that I received, the next, when I hit it again, now I have 100% and 99%. So one is the geopathic field stress evaluation, which is at 100%. And now we have 99%. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess you can just work on one zone. And we have another 2 high hits here, so that's good. And that was the interference zone. And now let's go down to the immune zone because and non-autoimmune allergy stress evaluation and organ change stress evaluation. And I guess we can. And so for the psychogenic zone, we have shock stress evaluation at 98 and hormone stress evaluation at 97. We already have 240 items in here, so I'm actually going to run this now. Again. And did any of those, I don't know where they've shown up, but let's run everything for 1 minute. Just want to look if there, oh, there's some stress evaluation ones in the highs. Let's just go look and see what's down here at the lows. Organ change stress. Acquired interference. Well, let's just run these. So that's at 21%. What I want to check is I want to go hit the navigation bars and go into the back office because I was adjusting some of these tones. So I'm just wondering if maybe if I brought them up to 100%, you guys can hear me better. Let's see what happens. Is it louder?
Yes, it's not necessarily identifiable, but yeah, louder.
I think it's rain. It's not like the whale sound. I have nature sounds on. Okay, so this is a little sluggish. Do you want me to change those sounds? Is it unpleasant for you guys? I could put the bells on. And I'm trying to, let's rescan. Oh, so Linda likes it better. Well, now it may get a little noisier. You may not like this last one, but we'll see what happens. Sorry, guys. Okay, so let's run this again for 30 seconds. It does sound different though today. Well, it's 29% and there's a little bit wider range there. Let's just see what our aura looks like. So it's a little paler on the outside. That's not so bad. We are getting more color in. So, I mean, there is color pretty much on the four corners. So that's good. I'm happy to see that there's a little bit of some programming lines in here, but overall, I think that that looked a little better. How is everybody doing? Do they feel, are you, I know Margaret, you're feeling better. Anybody else notice any shifts, or do they feel a little bit more in their body? Oh, Barbara's saying the hyoid bone one was applicable to me. Okay, great. I'm glad that that helped. And Linda, you're okay too. Glad. Does anybody have any questions? I do know, David, you mentioned you wanted me to talk on the functional zones a little bit. The functional zones, let me just go to the, are just different zones. You need to click on one of the item on in one of these boxes on the left in order to bring up the functional zones. So I can click grounding keeps me calm, but these are different zones um, that may be impacting why that line item is out of whack. So, or out of balance would be a better verbiage for that. But so now it's saying biochemicals could be causing. What the affirmation was ATP phosphate stress evaluation. So why not? We can add it. We'll run this for 30 seconds as we wind down. I hope that helps, David. I think it is in the manual, isn't it, Claire? There's a more of an explanation in the Genius manual.
The breakdown is I use them slightly different to build up my main whole tray. So I guess we all have different uses for
How do you
them.
use it differently?
Sorry?
How do you use it differently?
I like you, I just sort of like put one item in, one main item, and then I go into entangled insights on all of those zones and add that. Because you can tap on each zone.
How do you go use the zone in a entangled insights?
So if you go back into functional zones.
Oh. Okay.
Okay, I suppose pick any one.
Pick it how? If I click on it, it's going. Oh, you mean when you go deeper?
Yeah.
Oh, I never did that before, I think.
It's a really good way of sort of, letting the device come up with everything.
So we have fatty acid stress evaluation. Look
Yeah.
at that. Here, thanks. Okay, so fatty acid stress evaluation. So let's run it. So we need to load insights. I'm just going to say let's go with all of them. Would you agree, Claire? Or would you narrow it down to a specific?
No, because I wouldn't know what, would go with the fatty
I'm just
acid.
gonna.
And because, I don't know what you chose to start off with. Was it the affirmation?
Yeah, it was still that grounding is calming or something like that.
If you start with a specific problem, like for me, I put MS in, which is, it's huge. But if I go to sort of functional zones, I can work my way through it and collect a whole different lot of information.
I don't know why that just happened. Let's just clear this again. I am trying to, oh. Now there's 50. I must have added all of them. And so we can just look at yeah, I'm looking at the ones that are 1% too. I want to add those. I just want to see what's down here on the bottom. And I have that in the quick sap, so we can just run this. Sorry, we're going over everybody. I hope that's okay.
It's just like looking at something from a different angle, that's all, rather than sort of trailing through.
So we had a pretty good rectification there. And then, the other thing is when you're in the functional zone, let's just back out of here for a second. If you were to select more than one, you're kind of looking at the relationship of however many items you're looking at and then in the functional zone.
Yeah, I
Do you
kind of would
one
put
or
if I was to put sort of like 3 or 4 items together, they'd be of the same sort of ilk, sort of, possibility of them causing
category?
Yeah.
Like parasites, Margaret's saying. You mean right, you could use more than one if you were working on parasites, you can select more than one. Yes, exactly. Or here we could look at more than one grounding affirmation and see what's causing that. But we are over the time here. So let's just go back. We may have just added a lot more information in here and Margaret says that you and I are awesome. Thanks so much, Margaret. You
Thank
make
you,
me
Margaret.
smile. And let's just see what so we added a lot of other stuff into the mix. I'm not surprised. This looks a lot different. We kind of like stirred the bee's nest a little bit. But I hope everybody is feeling well and you have a great week. Stay in if you have this awful smoky air near you. And hopefully next week. Look forward to seeing everybody next week. Does anybody have specific topics they would like to look at or aspects of the genius that you want me to dive a little deeper in that you may not understand for next week? Anyone? You can come off the mic if you want. I'm just actually going to stop sharing here for a minute. More library. You want to look at different library panels? Okay, we can. Anything specific? The back off. So how you work with the back office? You're saying, Linda, what's inside the back office and working with it?
Well, there's something in the back office about brain stuff or adding voice. I forget what it is, but I don't know what it is to do with it.
The neuro remedies?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, sure. We can look at that. And Claire's like really an expert on the neural remedies. So, anyone else? Yeah, Tammy, I don't know if we can look at your topic because it may not be YouTube friendly. Um, I'll I'll get back to you on that one. And Oh, okay. How to create panels, Lillian is saying. So these are all great suggestions, and you can always email me too at Denise at Insight Health Apps with any suggestions or areas that you may need a little bit more focus or training on, or how to work with certain things. So please, I'm always open to suggestions and helping you as much as possible get the most out of your Genius Insight app. So with that said, I am going to stop the recording. And I should have said goodbye, but I didn't. Whoops.